So you from Argentina, you participated and you met a lot of these people, which were mainly Anglo-Saxon Americans or British. How came that you from the Southern Hemisphere, you participated and you were involved in these discussions?
Well, there we need to play with the serendipity there, because I remember always I've been in the International Congress in Russia, Moscow, and at that time most of the Russians were talking in Russian, and we need to have some headphones to the translation system. But all of a sudden I saw an old guy, a guy at that time of my age, that was sitting in the first row, and he'd use some headphones to follow what the people are talking. And I said, well, that guy would be sleeping there. I don't know what he's doing, because everybody was speaking very fast Russian, and only the Russians were able to follow that. Even the translation was very poor. But when they finished the presentation, one of the presenters, this old guy, who was an American, said, okay, I would like to put some questions. And I started speaking in Russian with them. I said, wow, that guy knows Russian. I was impressed. This guy was John Rogers from the Yale University. When we finished all this session, we had some big buses to go to the hotel. I just go into the buses. The only place was free was the guy sitting beside that guy. And I said, excuse me, may I sit with you? And that started a very good friendship for many years. What happened? That guy not only speak Russian, speak Chinese, Spanish, French, German. He was quite fluent in 10 languages. And I don't know if you know John Rogers. John Rogers was the guy who invented the word thin skin and thick skin. Thin skin, thick as well. This was used by John Rogers in the Appalachian system. Interesting that we were good friends. We started talking in Spanish with him. He was very friendly. And I said, you're famous Roger. Was a famous book where I have studied, was Principle of Stratigraphy for Dunbury Rogers. And he was the Roger, the Dunbury Rogers. And I knew his book and he told me that he was collecting mountain chains. How's that? I said, well, I visit most of the mountain chains of the world, but I still have not been in the Andes, in the Central Andes, and I would love to go. I said, well, coming back from the Congress, I will go to the Central Andes, at the highest part in San Juan. If you want to join us, you're welcome. We can take you there. But he came. He was something like 75 years old or something like that when he came. He was walking with us, climbing with us. I was very, very impressed with his way. And after that, he said, Victor, you need to come now to the Appalachian. I would like to show you the Appalachian. And then I went to the Appalachian. And meanwhile, he was having a jubilee symposium because he was retired. And I guess at that time was 80 years old. And he asked for his symposium if he was able to invite one person for each mountain chain, or the 10 main mountain chains of the world, to tell him how the progress of these mountain chains were. Well, he chose me for presenting the Andes at that time. I was a young geologist at that time, but I took the challenge. I went and explained how the Andes work. Based mainly what I was trying to apply in the last years, in the previous years. And I went there. I explained how the Andes were working. And all of a sudden, an old guy came and said, Victor, nice to meet you, because it's the first time I see that the Andes are in the earth. Because 1 year ago, I was in London. We had a symposium on the Andes. My impression was that the Andes were part of Mars, because it didn't work like the rest of the Earth mountain systems. And that guy was John Dewey. And, well, we started discussing with John Dewey a lot. We became good friends. He invited me to go to Oxford. I went to Oxford, and I've been at his home. We were discussing hours and hours about the region of the Andes. And I would say, if you put together all these things, it's some kind of serendipity, because if I were not here, John Rogers talking in Russian, I would never have the the curiosity to see how he could learn this Russian. And knowing him, he came to the Andes. I went to the Appalachian. I learned a lot about the Appalachian, and then he invited me to be the presenter of the Andes there, and that gave me the opportunity to know Peter Kearney and Peter Kearney, no, to John Dewey, and after that I had the opportunity to participate in several symposiums, and well, that's my life.